movies in this town, movies like Alien versus Predator and Godzilla versus Kong, Kramer versus Kramer, etc. But now we got some competition from Washington, D.C. We've got a big, beautiful brouhaha titled Trump versus Musk that is trouble in Scamalot, folks. I mentioned last night that within 72 hours of exiting his role as Doge-bag-in-chief, Elon Musk has been waging Twitter war against Trump's budget. Musk was reportedly butthurt, and yes, they did use that word. It is a quote about some of the stuff that's in the bill. Usually when Elon's butthurt, it's because of all the drugs he's trying to smuggle through White House security, but this time it's different. First, he called the bill a disgusting abomination, and then last shout at lawmakers. He wrote, "In November next year, we fire all politicians who betrayed the American people." That's right. First, he fired the American people. Next, he wants to fire the politicians. Because we have a ridiculous Supreme Court, guys like Elon Musk can spend as much money as they want to support or oppose a candidate in any election, in any place. He could fund a challenger to any congressman who doesn't want to do his bidding. So when he tweets something like, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill, and the poster from the movie Kill Bill, they get nervous. They have to wonder, does he really kind of mean this, or is it just a... And of course, the Democrats are jumping on it he's on their side when it comes to all the terrible effects this bill would have on poor and middle-class people, not to mention adding trillions of dollars to our national debt. But the real truth is Musk is mad about the things that affect him, like cutting the electric vehicle tax credit, not using his company Starlink for air traffic control, and that they pulled his friend's nomination for head of NASA. What Elon Musk cares about is Elon Musk, and you can tell Trump doesn't want to exacerbate this, even though he's said to be furious. It was even reported on Fox News that he is absolutely furious, but he's been unusually quiet. He hasn't punched back. In fact, he kind of disappeared today. Usually he's got reporters in the Oval Office. He's out yelling on the helipad. He had none of that today. No executive orders, no angry posts about Elon on Truth Social. Very unlike him to show restraint. So this must be serious. I mean, between Elon and Melania, Trump now has 2 foreigners who won't sleep with him. And it's only a matter of time. It will happen. I mean, I keep waiting to see Musk on a one-way SpaceX to El Salvador. We learned from the Congressional Budget Office today that this big, beautiful bill will kick about 11 million Americans off their health insurance by the year 2034, at which point Elon will be on Mars with his 87 kids, and Trump will essentially be a bag of dried mangoes. But it's not just Elon who's against it. Marjorie Taylor Greene has come out against the bill that she voted for because she didn't read it first.
We don't get the full bill text until very close to the time to vote for it. And so that was one section, that was 2 pages that I didn't see. And I'm being very transparent and honest about it with everyone, but I find it so problematic that I'm willing to come forward and admit that those are 2 pages that I didn't read.
Yeah, those 2 and all the other pages she didn't read. And all the books she was supposed to read in school. Didn't read any of them, but it does make sense. The bill was more than 1,000 pages long. It's hard to get through something like that when you're making blotchy-faced, one-armed push-up videos. Marjorie Taylor Greene not backing Donald Trump is like UTI losing cranberry juice, okay? But Marge is still all in on Trump's rabies-based trade policy. We have a new round of randomly levied tariffs. This morning, the White House doubled tariffs on aluminum and steel. Well, he did promise to stop the steal. And the president has now slapped a 50% tariff on metals. Experts say higher prices for us are inevitable. We should expect to pay more for construction, for cars, even appliances. He's taking us to the cleaners, literally. Soon we will not be able to afford a washer or dryer. And while it may seem like he's doing this all erratically and impulsively, that's not true. They actually have a very reliable system in place to decide what the tariff rate will be. That's right. You want to buy a vowel, forget about it. Trump is also bigly focused right now on his pet project, which is essentially keeping lesbians out of the Kennedy Center. Donald and Melania are planning to attend opening night for the first new show of Trump's tenure as chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center, a performance of Les Miserables. It's going to be awkward when Jean Valjean is arrested for stealing bread to feed his family and everyone cheers. But the show's a week from tonight. It is a 3-hour-long production. You think he could stay awake for 3 hours? I'm not sure his diaper can last 3 hours. But Trump actually is a big fan of Les Mis. His favorite musicals are Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, and Cats. He likes all the musicals that people who love musicals don't like. Meanwhile, in New York, the trial of Trump's buddy Diddy is going. Today, the court heard from forensic video expert Frank Piazza, who testified that he enhanced 10 sex videos that were recovered from a laptop in Diddy's possession, which wasn't easy. I mean, have you ever tried to get baby oil out of a USB port? Impossible. What a job that is, enhancing Diddy's sex videos. Your Honor, I added some balloons in there just to make it fun. Diddy's facing charges of sex trafficking and racketeering at the same time that another celebrity case is going on, this one in civil court in Colorado, starring the MyPillow man, Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell stands accused of making defamatory statements that irreparably tarnish the reputation of an employee at Dominion Voting Systems, a company that makes the machines he claims were rigged in favor of Joe Biden. During opening statements, Lindell's attorney said they will not bother trying to convince the court that the election was indeed rigged. They say what matters is whether Lindell believed it was rigged, if he believed what he was saying was true when he said it. And I have to say, there are a few things I know with 100% certainty, but one of them is that Mike Lindell believed what that little crack pipe in his head was telling him about the election. Mike is expected to take the stand in his own defense, which might be the single dumbest idea he's ever had. And remember, this is a guy who did an interview with me from inside a Dave & Buster's claw machine. That's not AI, that happened. How did we not win a Peabody for that? I mean, that's my legacy. Fun fact, Mike Lindell is the only American who's ever been inside a claw machine and the Oval Office in the same year. Dominion is suing him for $1.3 billion. If he loses this case, he may have to live in that claw machine. So, our Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, was back on the Hill for day 2 of testimony before the House Education and Workforce Committee. This woman is a real piece of work. She wants to dismantle her own department of education. She said parents should be allowed to opt out of their kids learning about evolution. And today, she refused to say whether she believed schools should be allowed to teach the fact that Joe Biden won the election in 2020. And she wasn't the only ham brain in the room. Today, representative from Wisconsin, a guy named Glenn Grothman, made it clear that, if anything, we need more education in this country.
Anybody who's been involved in Republican politics for a while has met students who have to lie routinely on tests to feel they have to get a good score. And it's because you have this monolithic left wing that is got almost all, in some disciplines, of the teaching jobs. And to me, this anti-Semitism is increasingly part of the left wing zageese that's everywhere.
The zageese, you know, the zageese, the left wing. The left wing's a geese. A man who thinks zeitgeist is pronounced zageist. Not only is he in Congress, he's on the Education Committee. Or as he says it, the Education Committee. But, and by the way, none of what he said before he said zageist made sense either. It's one thing to be illiterate in one language. To be illiterate in 2 is impressive. Good going, Sheboygan County. This crusade against anything that is deemed liberal is so silly. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is working right now, ordering the Navy to rename a ship because it was named after the murdered gay rights activist Harvey Milk. The USNS Harvey Milk will be renamed as part of President Trump's campaign to rid our country of homosexual boats. The announcement was made yesterday. when Hegseth accidentally replied all to a group text from his CrossFit instructor. A memo from the Defense Department said the move was taken to align with Trump's priorities of reestablishing a warrior culture, which is interesting, seeing how Harvey Milk was a combat veteran, was a decorated officer on a Navy rescue ship during the Korean War, and the closest Donald Trump has ever been to fighting in Asia was getting diarrhea at a Panda Express. This is what they're doing. This is the important work that's... Hegseth also announced he wants that volleyball scene cut out of Top Gun. The Navy is also intending to rename other of what they call John Lewis-class ships, including the Thurgood Marshall, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Harriet Tubman, and the Cesar Chavez, all of which will be from here on named after members of Rascal Flatts. So, happy Pride Month, everybody. You know, according to ABC News, they actually did make this an announcement intentionally to coincide with the start of Pride Month, which started on Sunday, which is so... And have these people ever heard of the song In the Navy? I mean, this is... And the Pentagon isn't the only place where pride appears to be bothering people. It's happening in other places, too. And here with more is one of our writers, a gay one, named Louis Virtel, to Virtel it like it is. Louis?
June is Pride Month all around the country, but nowhere does there appear to be less gay pride than at a bar in Boise, Idaho that is hosting something called the Hetero Awesome Fest. This is a real festival. They did it last year, too. And I actually think it's a great idea. I want you straights to cherish the stuff that makes you uniquely the people you are, too. Like big wallets. Losing your at a Little League game. Going to the same barber since you were 2. Recommending the new John Hamm show. Recommending the old John Hamm show. Setting a deep-fried turkey on fire. Buying pants at Costco. Looking at a mantle and thinking, this needs bobbleheads. And those 3 magic words that all straight people love to hear, Bass Pro Shop. And loving to fish so much that you pose for pictures like this. Or this. Or this. Or this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. I bet he's holding a fish right now.
No, I'm not.
We love you just the way you are. Straight people, we salute you. Live your life, live your truth, no matter how baggy the cargo shorts may get or how long the Marvel end credit sequences may go. And have an amazing, hetero, awesome fest.
Thank you, Louis. Happy Pride Month. Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right, yeah. That's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20,000,001.